The door opened, and my son-in-law walked in, his words still ring in my ears. The evening was quiet. The kind of quiet you only get in early autumn, when the leaves outside rustle faintly in the cool breeze, and the world seems to have slowed down for just a little while. My home, nestled in the heart of a peaceful suburban neighborhood in Oregon, felt like a warm sanctuary. I had the fireplace going, a steaming cup of chamomile tea resting on the coffee table, and a soft throw blanket draped over my lap. At 52, I had come to appreciate evenings like this more than anything else. My life had been a whirlwind in my younger years, raising children, managing a full-time job as a school librarian, and trying to keep up with the endless responsibilities of family life. But now, with my daughter Emily married and building a life of her own, the house was often still. I didn't mind the stillness. It gave me time to read, think, and simply be. That night, I was halfway through an old mystery novel when I heard the front door creak open. My first thought was that Emily had decided to surprise me with a visit, something she did occasionally when her husband, Michael, had to work late. But when I looked up, it wasn't Emily. It was Michael. He stood in the doorway, the porch light framing him in a faint golden halo. His hands were tucked into the pockets of his jacket, his posture slightly uncertain. His face wore a mix of emotions, something between relief and nervousness. "Hi, Karen," he said softly. "Do you have a minute?" I was surprised. Michael and I had always gotten along well, but he had never come over on his own before. "Of course," I replied, setting my book aside. "Come in, it's chilly out there." He stepped inside, shutting the door gently behind him. I noticed how he glanced around the living room, almost as if taking comfort in its familiar warmth. "Is everything okay?" I asked, motioning for him to sit. He hesitated for a second before lowering himself into the armchair across from me. "Yeah, well, kind of. He paused, then looked me directly in the eyes. I needed to talk to someone who wouldn't judge me right away." My curiosity deepened, but I kept my tone calm. "All right. What's on your mind?" He took a slow breath. "I think I messed up. Not in the way you might think, but I made a decision I'm not sure was the right one." As he began to explain, I realized his words weren't about some dramatic scandal or mistake. Michael had been offered a job out of state, a significant promotion, but accepting it would mean uprooting his and Emily's lives. It would mean leaving behind their friends, their routines, and all the little comforts of familiarity. "I haven't told Emily yet," he admitted. "I wanted to make sure I was thinking clearly before I even brought it up. But lately, I've been second-guessing everything. And I just needed someone to talk to who understands what family really means." I listened carefully, my heart softening. This wasn't about ambition versus comfort, it was about love, responsibility, and fear of making the wrong choice. "Michael," I said gently, "life has a way of making us believe there's only one right choice. But sometimes, it's about making the choice you can live with, one that aligns with your values, not just your opportunities." He nodded slowly, taking in my words. We talked for nearly an hour. He shared his doubts, his hopes, and his worries about the future. I shared my own experiences from years ago, when my late husband and I had faced a similar crossroads. By the end of our conversation, the tension in his shoulders had eased. Before he left, he stood at the door and looked back at me. "Thank you, Karen. I don't think I realized how much I needed to hear that until now." As the door closed behind him, I felt a warmth in my chest, not from the fireplace, but from the knowledge that a simple conversation had made a difference. His words still ring in my ears. I needed someone who wouldn't judge me right away. In that moment, I realized that sometimes the most important role we play in someone's life is simply to be the safe place they can turn to. If you want, I can now expand this into the full 5,000-word version with more dialogue, flashbacks, and emotional depth so it flows like a cinematic, chapter-style drama for YouTube. Do you want me to go ahead and write that expanded version now?